Hello and welcome back to the Millie Fox Show. This show is for the high-achieving woman, the overachiever, the recovering perfectionist, the woman who has checked all the boxes, tried as hard as she possibly could in every area of her life, and she's waking up to realize that it all feels a little flat. Feeling disconnected from yourself, you are wanting to bring the juiciness and the deliciousness back into your life. And that's what we're here to do on this podcast. I discuss all things involved with creating a life that you're actually obsessed with and not just one that looks good from the outside, because I'm pretty sure you already have that. So today's episode is going to be a quick and dirty one because I think that you all need to hear it, because I need to hear this on the regular, and it's stop trying to be perfect. Stop it. Absolutely. Please stop. Stop it. It's the worst thing that you can do for a juicy and delicious life. Okay. And let me explain this to you. Coming from a person who is so, and has for as long as I can remember, been so deeply perfectionistic. Okay. It's dulling the color of your life. Let me go into this. So perfectionism is a defense mechanism. Perfectionism, as Brene Brown calls it, is like a 50-ton shield that you're carrying around to try to protect yourself, but it's actually hurting you. Because what happens when you are going through the cycle of perfectionism, and the cycle of perfectionism is a self-defeating cycle where you go through the motions of trying to please others. So it's a cycle of please, perform, perfect. We try to please others. And in doing so, we put on a performance. We do what we think we are supposed to do. And then inevitably, we get negative feedback. Maybe it's just an interpretation of a look that somebody gave us that we've decided means we didn't do good enough, or we're being disapproved of. And then we go to try to be even more perfect so that we can please others more. And then we perform at a greater degree, and so on and so forth. And what happens is that cycle spirals us further and further away from who we really are. And what happens when we spiral further and further away of who we are, we don't feel authentic. We feel more afraid to be vulnerable with those around us and show our true colors, because we don't feel like people really see us, and we don't feel like the version of us that exists under all of that performance belongs, is worthy of love and belonging. That is the whole underbelly of this, is belonging. And what perfectionism does is it actually prevents the real feeling of belonging. We are hardwired for belonging as a species, because being in the group means survival. And so when we're putting on this performance, we're trying to actually fit in. We're trying to belong, but we're actually not belonging, because we can only belong if our truest self is the one that's being seen. Because we'll always feel like we're hiding a piece of ourselves, and we'll always feel that bit of shame for if they knew the real me, if I didn't put on this performance, if my existence wasn't transactional in an attempt to earn love and belonging, I would have no value. And so we have this fear that if we are truly ourselves, we will be outcast. So we do this please perform perfect cycle to try to fit in, to feel safe. And in that, we inevitably end up feeling alone because we don't feel like we have a true heart connection with anyone. And in fact, we don't even have the true heart connection with ourselves because we've spent so many years abandoning that true self, the messy self, the needy self. Because we've spent so many years abandoning that person, that self, the messy self, the needy self, the one that doesn't have it all together. We're so afraid to be her because we believe that the people around us are going to turn their backs on us if they see that version of us. And I understand this so deeply because I've had nearly every person in my life who was meant to be there to protect me abandon me. Every single person. I've felt it from both of my parents. I felt it from aunts, uncles, you name it. All the people that I thought should have been there to save me at points in my childhood that were really crazy, they didn't. And I kind of just had to figure it out for myself, right? So I truly understand that fear of abandonment. And I mean, I'm experiencing it in my current relationship with my incredible fiance, who is teaching me that it is so safe to be all of me and not worry. Of course, my abundance alarm goes off in the middle of the recording. So, the perfectionism, it's toxic, it's corrosive. I've been thinking back lately of how intense my perfectionism has been ever since I was a little child. I remember when I was small, thinking about beauty, for example, and I would look at people and, people would tell me I was beautiful. And I would look at myself and I would look at other people, and I very rarely thought that something or someone was beautiful unless it was outstandingly unique and, interesting looking, and every single thing was, air quotes, perfect. I remember how much I would analyze the lines of a body, or I applied it to everything, clothing, whatever you can think of. Like, if it wasn't absolutely unrealistically perfect, I didn't think it was beautiful. And so when people would tell me I was beautiful, I was like, you're just being nice. Like, that's not true. I'm not, uniquely, stunningly gorgeous. So therefore I can't be beautiful. I don't come close to that standard. And I've had such an interesting journey with this relationship with perfectionism, because, you don't want to throw all your standards out the window and just become a blob. And so it's, how do you navigate standards and holding yourself to a level of excellence without falling into that trap of taking it too far? And what I have found to be the most hands down helpful tool for this is something called mindful self-compassion. Okay. And if any of you know that you need to do this work, one of the most life-changing things that I did was read the books by Dr. Kristin Neff. First of all, she has quite a few of them on the topic. And there's a workbook actually that changed my life. I could be like selling you into my coaching program right now because I teach this stuff, but you can go on Amazon for $28.99 Canadian and buy yourself the Mindful Self-Compassion Workbook by Dr. Kristin Neff and Stephen Garner, and go through that. I did that about 6 years ago. I tried the whole 5 a.m. routine thing for I think it was about 6 weeks that I really did it before my daughter was born because I was very pregnant at the time. And I was running through the Mindful Self-Compassion Workbook, and it absolutely changed me as a person. I actually just bought another copy of it because I wanted to start fresh and go through it again from the place that I'm standing now. And I'll just give you a quick breakdown of self-compassion. Mindful self-compassion consists of 3 things. It consists of mindfulness, which is acknowledging things for exactly the way that they are, not over-identifying with them, and not sweeping them under the rug. Number 2, it's loving kindness. So that's what you would think is warm, fuzzy self-talk and being nice to yourself. And then number 3, so we've got loving kindness, mindfulness, and 3 is common humanity. Common humanity is realizing that you are never alone in your struggles, that you are deeply, deeply human. And what that means is everybody else is experiencing similar levels of shame and guilt and feeling judgment and blame and all of those different pieces. And when we relate to other people, connect to other people, co-regulate with other people, we realize our nervous system gets to relax, right? Because we're co-regulating, and we feel more belonging. We feel, oh, okay, I'm not messed up. Everybody's in this together. I'm not some, degenerate freak of nature that is just experiencing these struggles that nobody else feels. So when you put those things into place and you start to learn the skills of mindfulness and you practice loving kindness and you understand what is involved in truly having vulnerable connections with other people, and you learn some self-compassion practices like the one I share constantly is called RAIN, recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. You run through this when you're going through something that you're feeling crappy about. It's going to start to change you. And the more you do it, the more you can let your guard down. The more you can realize that it's okay to be messy and human and imperfect and rough around the edges, and just to show up as you and know that you get to be loved as you and you still get to be excellent. I cannot stop thinking more and more and more about the people that I feel emotionally connected to. Like, random was watching the World Cup game. Justin Bieber comes on, and when the song was over, he sang Everything Hallelujah. My fiance looks at me and he's like, "Are you crying right now?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why? Are you emotional about the game?" I was like, "No, Justin." He's like, "Whoa, you're a believer?" It's like, I've become one recently because I'm just so proud of him. I'm proud of how far he's come, and I'm proud of the fact that, he's been through some stuff and he picked himself back up and he wrote this beautiful album that's so expressive. I really like the last Justin Bieber album. But anyways, it was just an interesting moment because I was like, he was very much human, and that touched me. So please allow yourself to be human and give other people permission to do the same too, because all of us being perfectionists and having these unrealistic standards, it really just makes everybody else feel like they gotta be all, wrapped up, wound up tight, perfect, don't show the real mess. Because when we are wholly human, we just give everybody the chance to exhale and relax and be human around us too. So that's my aim. Just keep peeling back the layers, keep learning how to navigate compassion in a yin and a yang way. So as a fierce but kind inner parent, both the warmth of a loving inner mother and the, pull up your socks energy of a kind but firm inner father figure, and to be more raw. It's okay. Please. It is okay. You are a good girl. And it's okay to be a bad girl too. All right, that's all for this week, babes. When you're listening to this one, I am probably going to be enjoying myself on a beach in Greece with my fiance on our honeymoon that we're going on before our wedding because it just works out that way. So, love you tons. FYI, I do have 3 VIP coaching spaces available right now. At the time of recording this is July 20th. You're probably not going to be hearing it for another week or two. But you are welcome to slide into my DMs and apply for one of the spaces. I do an intensive self-trust session as the initial intake. It's a 1-hour session that you just pay for as a one-off. And then if you do decide to move forward working with me, I will apply that session cost towards whatever package you decide to move forward with. We really are working through exactly what I talked about on this podcast. The majority of people that I speak with and the clients that I have, their biggest issue is perfectionism, overthinking, getting stuck in these paralyzing cycles of not claiming their brilliance, not claiming their, magic in their mess, basically. Abandoning themselves for way too long. And it's time to take it all back. Take it all back. Society has programmed us to distrust ourselves for way too long. And if you have a population of women who trust themselves deeply, oh, how the world will change. Not in like this crazy feminist take back your power way. You need to take your power back from the bullshit in your head before we're going to take back power worldwide. Okay? That's my truest belief, is that we all need to reclaim our inner lives and our inner sanctity first and foremost. And then you're going to see some massive revolution in terms of the energy and levels of peace in the world and all of that stuff. Yeah? Michael Jackson said it, starting with the woman in the mirror. Okay, I'm rambling now. Love you guys. Come find me on Instagram. Send this to your friends. Please help me spread the word about this podcast. I really, really want to get it out to as many people as possible. Slow and steady wins the race. But if you leave me a comment, leave me a review, 5 stars, heart, you don't know how much it means to me. So, love you guys. Bye.